Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7:30 on Saturday the 22nd of January. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a cold morning this morning. You can see the frost on the grass. I'm sure you can. It's quite a pretty morning though. Sun is trying to peek over the horizon, so we're getting a bit of colour in the sky. Don't see many clouds though, so I suspect it's going to stay cold. It is forecast for pretty cold temperatures this week, and they've been forecasting snow for ages. Thankfully it's not arrived, because I don't want it. It's difficult enough with the frost, the ice. I certainly don't want snow. I had a bit of a close encounter this morning driving down. I'll tell you about that in the cabin chat. But anyway, let me get opened up and let's get some heat on the go, and I'll catch up with you shortly. If there's one thing I'm going to need today, it's going to be a fire. Because it is cold. Freezing cold. Anyway, let's get that done. Hopefully it'll take well, because there's not an awful lot of, well, in fact there's no wind outside. So I'm hoping it's going to draw. Otherwise I'll be sat in a cloud of smoke talking to you. Right, let's sort the chickens out. Then I can get myself a cup of coffee. Well, as usual, first things first, sort the chickens out. It's a bit cool in here. They're busy pecking away. Little red one got bored waiting for me while I was answering a call on my phone. Oh, here we go. Here she comes. What's this? Yes. Ah dear. It is cool. And the other one's coming now as well, look. What are you after? There we go. That other one is getting a bit confident now. Not so much with the other chickens, but with me. Are you demanding attention? Yeah. I am daft with them. I really am. Ow, that's a bit sharp. Right, let me get the feeder topped up and we'll check what's going on inside the coop. Just take a little look in here, see what's going on. Oh, it's a bit dark. Some lights on. Food and water, top that up shortly. A lot of mess to clean up. God, loads of mess over there to clean up. Why is it not focusing? Oh, we got one there. None. Wow, 5 and 4. Let's get these picked up. They've had a bit of a silly session by the looks of it. Don't normally get any in that end box. I was in ridiculously early on Thursday because I was busy with work, so they've had all day Thursday and all day yesterday to produce for me. You missed a classic comedy error. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 there. Pleased with that. Yeah, you missed a classic comedy error coming out of the pen. Very slippery underfoot. I went upside down and landed in all the chicken crap. Yeah, I'll top that up later. So yeah, good job I wasn't videoing then. You would have killed yourselves laughing. Right, I'll come back shortly, chickens, with some greenery for you. But I need my coffee. Well, good morning. It's the weekend. It's been a really cold week this week. Minus temperatures every morning when I've woken up. Lots of scraping of ice from cars. Just starting to warm up in here. The fire's drawing ever so steadily. I wouldn't call that a proper fire, but it's doing what it's supposed to. It's throwing some heat out, and of course I've got my cup of coffee. Quite slippy on the roads this morning coming in. I came to one particular section of the road, slight downward slope, and there's a junction there, and you know, you get those bum twitching moments. I could just feel the car just starting to drift left to right, very slowly. Top tip, do not try and throw the steering wheel around. Do not hit the brakes. If you're ever encountering that kind of situation, take your foot off the accelerator, but don't hit the brakes. Yeah, I could just feel it for about, I don't know, 15-20 metres, just ever so slightly starting to drift, and you kind of hang on thinking, where's this going? But thankfully it didn't. It continued straight, and the rest of the journey was okay. I commented just now when I was sorting the chickens out. I was filling up the feeder in the pen, and the old cockerel came up behind me and just had a little bit of a nip at the back of my leg, and I turned round really quick. Fatal mistake, turning round quick. I went straight down on my butt. So luckily I've got water in the cabin, so I was able to get cleaned up. I was not a pretty sight. So, all fun and games this morning. Dear me. Chickens are busy pecking away at their corn. I've got some greenery on the workbench there. I'll pop in with that after we've had a little quick cabin chat. That's just now starting to throw out a decent bit of heat. Wherever you are, wherever you're doing, I hope that you're staying safe and well. Nothing to concern you this weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're in the chicken coop, watch the cockerel. It is still a crazy world out there. We here in the UK eased our restrictions for COVID on Wednesday. And what do you know? I was looking at the news yesterday. Yep, there's a brand new variant. So they're going to run out of numbers and letters shortly. They just keep inventing these damn things. There's something now called BA2, I think it's called. Don't know where BA1 was. So of course the media's jumping all over that now. So, oh no, there's a new variant. It's terrible. We're all going to die again. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. And there's nothing realistically that we can do about these things other than take care of ourselves. We can't physically and individually change what the government does or doesn't do, so we just have to live with the consequences, which is why we prepare at the end of the day. We try and prepare so that we're not putting ourselves into difficult situations, and so that if anything does go wrong with normal day-to-day life, we're in a position to better cope with that. So yeah, keep an eye out for this latest BA2 and no doubt, just as we think it's over, there'll be a BA3, BA4, well, whatever. I'm tired of it now. Other things in the big wide world, stock markets, financial markets took another dump this week. This is all really based around what the American Federal Reserve banks, central banks, are doing or not doing. It is now starting to properly wreak havoc with financial markets. Nobody has a clue what's going on. The markets are up and down like yo-yos. People are losing money all over the place. And it is looking more and more likely that we're going to have a significant financial and economic issue to deal with over the next 2, 3, maybe more months. So keep an eye out for that, and just as best you can, try and sort yourself out. Theme of the conversation this morning is really about time. Time factors in so many different ways, and I've commented endlessly in videos through the last 2 years now, as I've been going through this little project experiment of mine here on the land. Unless you are not working for a living, time is that real precious commodity. There never seems to be quite enough of it. So on one side of the time argument, there's this, I need more time to organise myself, to do things and to be ready for things. And then on the other side of the coin, of course, we're always waiting for that thing in the future. Whether, as I just mentioned now about the economy, we're waiting for time to pass, to arrive at something, the crash, being fully prepared, whatever that thing might be. So time, it's important in all kinds of ways. And I guess really in this, be a fairly short chat this morning, as I have other things to do, never enough time. It's to get you thinking about time and organising yourselves, and thinking ahead to try and best use whatever time it is that you do have available to you. Quite often I sit and think, do you know what, I wish I wasn't working. Then I could have all this free time to devote to my activities down here on the land. But sadly, in the world that we live in, we do have to generate an income from somewhere in order to do our day-to-day existence, let alone try and improve upon that by becoming self-sufficient. This journey has been quite expensive, and I couldn't possibly have done it without working full-time. And realistically, I'm going to have to continue working full-time and gradually, bit by bit, over time, slowly build what I have until I reach such time as perhaps I've retired and I have a pension income to fall back on, or maybe, let's see how we get on in this journey, I'm able to produce more than I actually need of specific items in order to generate an income. Could be things like chicken eggs, selling surplus chicken eggs, honey from the bees, if I can build up my hives and be in a position to have a surplus, or even fresh veg. There is a small, it's like a visitor centre for a nature reserve, not too far away from here, and they do food and drinks. So who knows, maybe I can produce the raw ingredients for whatever it is that they're cooking in that cafe. Lots of thinking to be done as we progress through this year and into next, as to long term how I might be able to generate some income from the land and become a little bit more self-sufficient financially outside of the normal 9-to-5 work life. I was in the supermarket yesterday, Friday, as I generally do. There's a surprising number of either empty or thin shelves. The variety of the different, it's not just food, but essential items such as toiletries. The gaps are noticeable now. The lack of choice is noticeable now, whereas before you could have 4 or 5 different brands or varieties of a particular product. Toiletries is a good example, things like body wash, toothpaste. Tissue and toilet tissue as well is another good example. You'd normally have loads of different brands and pack sizes available, and I'm noticing more and more that the availability and choice is declining quite markedly now. Week on week there seems to be less variety, less choice, and of course more price. So yeah, there's lots of people in the news and on YouTube talking about more disruption to supply chains, as China in particular has been closing many of its big seaports where all of these container ships come out of. Countries continue to stockpile their agricultural produce rather than ship it. Here in the UK, because of energy prices rising, we've seen farmers dumping produce, dairy products in particular. There are stories in the media of farmers dumping huge amounts of milk because their supply chain isn't working as it should, and farmers struggling with the costs of maintaining the farm due to rising fuel and energy prices. So lots of disruption still continuing as we start heading towards spring of this new year in 2022. So I don't anticipate that supply chain and availability of goods and services is going to get back to normal anytime soon. So do please continue to stock up on all of those different essential items that you need. Energy prices in the UK particularly are due to take another massive spike in April. There are already stories in the media of 30 and 40% price rises now. Inflation has continued to go up. We saw another rise in December, and they're already saying it's going to be another rise in January. So this isn't going to change anytime soon. So try and plan your time, think ahead, and prepare yourselves for what is coming as time progresses through this year. Anyway, got a few things to do this morning. Need to clear out the chicken coop, got some greenery for them. I just want to check something on the little red tractor. I noticed the battery wasn't sounding too healthy last weekend when I started it up. With it not running as it normally does weekly, because I'm not cutting the grass, and because it's standing for long periods in these sub-zero temperatures, I suspect the battery's draining. I've got a multimeter to test it, and if it is, I'll just take it off and pop it on charge. So some fiddly jobs, cold jobs, because they're outside. I really am desperately waiting for the planting season to start. I've already bought some sweet potatoes, ready to start propagating those and growing some slips so that I can plant them out. It takes about 7 or 8 weeks to propagate those. So I'm guessing if I can get through next week and start February, that'll be the ideal time to start those off. And hopefully I'll start some more seeds off as well, which will give you more to look forward to in the videos than me sitting here just endlessly talking. Anyway, let me get the coffee down me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do stay safe and well. Do let us all know what you're doing in the comments section below, and I'll catch up with you shortly. I'm back in the chicken coop. Bit of greenery for the chickens, and as usual, little red one waiting expectantly. They are funny. She spends more time deciding which bit to peck than she does actually eating. The others just get on with it. That's where I went in my butt earlier. Thankfully, with it being so cold, it's not that wet. It would have been a different story if it had been raining. The other red one's casually coming over. She's going to get kicked out, I can guarantee it. Right, enough of this. I've got things to do. You're going to have to fend for yourselves, chickens. There you go. And I'll leave them to it. Let's get little red tractor sorted out. I thought I'd stay indoors a little bit longer and clean out the mess in here. They are messy, but thankfully it's not taking too long. Food and water's topped up as well, so they're all good to go. We can get ourselves back in here and start producing. And for now, into the cold. Let's get the tractor garage opened up. Well, here we are in the tractor garage. It's you can see the steam of my breath. It's very, very chilly. Just pulled the battery cover off. I have run the test meter on it. In all fairness, it doesn't seem too bad, but I'm going to pull it off anyway. It definitely needs a cleaning up, and it won't hurt from a charge, but I'm just looking at all the rubbish, leaves. The more I look, the more I find I need to do, but one thing at a time. Let's get this battery off. Well, I've took the battery off. It didn't look like this when I took it off. It was absolutely caked with years of cobwebs and dust and grime, and all of this was actually full of debris. So I've cleaned it all out and just generally tidied up the battery. What you can see though is the water levels inside. We're down a little bit on this one, this cell, and we're down quite a lot on this cell, so that needs topping up. Essentially you're just taking that cap off there. There's a hole into the cell and you're dropping some distilled water in there. It's not far enough down for me to worry about topping up acid or anything like that. I'll just top up that cell till it gets to this line here, just to save that cell from deteriorating. So it is good that I've checked this, because there is a potential problem there in the making. So I can't do that here because I don't have distilled water here. I'm going to have to make some at home and then top that up, pop it on charge. I'll clean these terminals while I'm on, and then I'll bring this back tomorrow and pop it back on Little Red Tractor. Well, it's not warming up any. You can see the smoke on the chimney. It's struggling a little bit to draw. One thing while I am working outside in the tractor garage, something that I should have done already, but with the weather we've had, I just haven't got round to it. I've got one last bay of compost to put into that end bay. You can see I've been dumping all the chicken litter out of the coop into there. So I may as well get that done while I'm out here. At least it'll keep me warm. It'll not be a quick job, but hopefully that will fit inside there. I guess you'll find out shortly. This is certainly not the fastest process in the world. is about the only way to do it. Just watching the chickens chilling, and they're literally chilling because it's freezing out here. I'm surprised they're not actually in the coop and that they're out here. I don't know whether it's because they're watching me and waiting for me to bring them something, or whether they just like being outside. I don't honestly know, but anyway, there we go. That's that compost bin dug out and turned over into this end bay. That took forever to do, and apart from my fingers, I'm quite warm. All that exercise, so good job done. That should have been done a week or two ago, but I never really got round to it. Weather's been shocking, so it's the first day that we've had really where we're not slushing around ankle deep in mud or getting rained on, so very happy to get that finished. Anyway, let me get the things put away, get tractor garage locked up. I'll be taking that battery home to top it up with water and get it on charge, and that'll be it for today. Cold, very cold today. Now there's something you don't see every day. Not quite sure what he's doing, but he's extremely low. Extremely low. I've no clue what this helicopter's doing, but it's hovering around on the other side of this railway embankment where the wooded area is behind my field. I don't know if he's lost, or if he's got a problem, or if he's doing a survey, or what he's doing, but it's definitely unusual. Can't quite see him because he's hidden behind the trees, but you can clearly hear him. He's there, just don't quite know what he's doing. Well, that's it for today. Short day today, but it's that time thing, isn't it? There's never enough. There's always a load more stuff to be done. Everything's locked up. Still frost on the field. I don't know if you can see it or not. It has been cold today. I've got the battery to take home with me to top up and pop on charge, and then I'll be back at some point tomorrow to pop it back on Little Red Tractor. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Do let me know what you're up to in the comment section, but for now, that's it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Apologies for the noise, background. That's the work clothes that got messed up in the chicken coop this morning in the washing machine. Battery charger's out ready for the battery. I'm just thought I'd quickly show you this. I'm just making some distilled water. So essentially I've got a pan with a bowl sitting in it, an oversized lid. You just knew that would happen, didn't you? The noise. And essentially the steam comes off, condenses on the inside of this oversized lid, and then drips into the bowl. And eventually I'll have enough to top the battery up. So there you go. Thought I'd share that as an end to the video. Well,
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Time, it's that thing that you can't buy and there never seems to be enough of. So whatever you are doing, wherever you are spending your time, do try and spend it wisely, because you can't get it back again. Lots of things on my mind, how to spend my time over the coming weeks. What about you? What are you planning to do over the next few weeks and months? Do let me know in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.